So we laid the foundation to talk about stress by understanding the resilient zone. Now we're going to look a little bit deeper into the nervous system. Yes, that's why people pump weight to lose stress. That is there. That's it. That is it, brother. That is it. Exercising is a good way to manage stress, and especially if you bring awareness as you're actually exercising, it's wonderful. Thank you for that, brother, and welcome on. Let me just pause to to invite you to please give a thumbs up. I have to, sometimes I forget the whole YouTube, subscribe, the whole YouTube, like, comment, and those things. But I remember now. So inviting you, please just give a thumbs up if this feels good for you so far. It does help the rating and the reach, and we are a small channel and growing. And imagine this reaching a wide audience, especially Jamaicans. Oh, revolution, I say. All right. So we're going to look at the nervous system as it relates to stress. When we talk about nervous system, we can get into some big words, okay? I'm going to try to simplify it. So for those who want to go deeper, please, I invite you to go ahead and do more research. There are many gurus out there about the nervous system and how it works in regards to stress, but this is a simple way to look at the nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system is the part of the nervous system that controls unconscious body functions. That's why we have the word auto. So it controls your breathing, your heartbeat, digestion, blood pressure, sexual arousal. You can see it here. So it does stem from the brain. But of course, we can hold your breath, but at some point, the autonomic nervous system will kick in and we'll start breathing. This is also true for dieting and why dieting doesn't work long term. So we can use willpower to curb our appetite, but at some point, the autonomic nervous system will kick in and we'll start to eat the place down. That's true for me. I talk from experience. I was an avid dieter as a teenager and into my 20s. My 30s, I gave up on it. All right. So there are two branches of the autonomic nervous system. And the first one I wanted to touch on is the sympathetic nervous system. From now on, I'll talk about it as the fight and flight. And also there is a parasympathetic branch of the nervous system. And I also refer to this now as rest and digest, just to simplify things. So the fight and flight prepares us for action, and the rest and digest, as it says, prepares for rest. So when there's a perceived threat, let's say that we're driving and someone cuts us off the road. The SNS is activated. Sorry, the fight and flight is activated. We may notice our heart rate increasing, our blood pressure increases, our stress hormones are released, and in the resilient zone, we start to move up higher on our zone. So you can imagine, I don't know if you can see my mouse pointing. You can imagine going up in your resilient zone as this is happening. So all of this is happening very fast. And as we prepare to take action, let's say we jam on the brakes and we get to safety, then our rest and digest will kick in. And it prepares us for, it will bring us back down into our resilient zone. So we talk about going up, then rest and digest bring us down. So when it brings us down, we may notice our heart rate decreases. So maybe before your heart is like beating out of your chest, now it's starting to, cool down. and your blood pressure will decrease, etc. So this is a brief stress response, and with a lot of stress, this can be you can be in a state of hyperarousal. So that means you're kind of on a high all the time. Sometimes you may see someone very agitated all the time. That happens to me. Sometimes I'm edgy. So with a lot of stress, you can, for a long time, you can get into a hyperarousal state. And sometimes when you get in that state, it doesn't seem like anything can turn off that state. You know, you can imagine being in that state and your heart rate beats fast, you know, for like all the time, and the blood pressure is high, you know, for a prolonged time. You can just imagine, because we'll talk a little bit about blood pressure later. So in the model, we are cultivating access to the rest and digest. So that's again the parasympathetic nervous system. Some think that it is the parachute bringing us down. It's very easy, automatic, to go into the fight flight, but the rest and digest need some cultivation. So remember, we began with the landing moment. That was bringing us down, landing in her body, in her experience. So how does one know when you get bumped out and you come back in? You know, in the example, we talk about the coming down in the nervous system. So in the resilient zone, we're coming down. How does one know? Sometimes we can know because we have these nervous system release, and we'll look at that at another session. But the nervous system release, in a nutshell, is the body release whatever stressors it was holding. So sometimes it could be burping, it could be a bit of shake or something of that sort. It is the nervous system coming back into balance. So we do need both the rest and digest and the fight and flight. The aim is not to try to control any of these, but is to create awareness of how they're operating in our lives, so we can increase our well-being in body and mind. So let's have another mini pause where we will practice one more strategy. So this strategy, again, is a part of the Reset Now skill from the community resiliency model. I'll take a drink. I've been talking. So this we have been practicing, but we're just going to make it a little bit more official now. So in Reset Now, we practice orienting. So it's simply looking around your space slowly with awareness. Yes, you may be familiar with it, but we're looking again because we're trying to communicate to our nervous system safety. And you cannot do this enough, looking around to see that it is safe. No one is harming us in this very moment. So paying attention to something pleasant in your space or whatever catches your attention is also helpful for the nervous system, because not only are you looking around at things that are neutral, but when we look around at something that is pleasing to us, it can also even bring us down even more into our nervous system and that feeling of safety. And sometimes too, just to make things interesting, because anything can become boring very fast. So we want to be creative. And so sometimes I myself, I look around and I may look for specific colors. So I'm going to see all the blues that's in the room. And I look around for all the blues. And I may even count them too. So again, creativity is helpful.